one of the writers who stand out, not just because they're very good, but because they're very, very different from every single one in a very different way, which I can't really explain. The writer is Robert Greene. Obviously, his books, 48 Laws of Power, a very famous one, a very banned one. It is banned in many places, probably in jails, as far as I have heard. And when I started reading the 48 Laws of Power, I left it in the middle. I just read a few chapters and I was like, this has to be the most evil thing anyone can write about. Like, it is actually wild. But then you realize that you aren't supposed to read it so that you can apply it, but you are supposed to read it so that no one applies it on you. And to be honest, I really hope books like these do not end up with someone who's a sociopath, a psychopath, whatever that is, just someone who's not right mentally, because that would really mean evil for a lot of people. Because he writes in the book, many people are going to deny it. And I was the one who denied it initially, but I cannot anymore. You could see the things that are going on in this world, and you could see what he is really talking about. This man has worked in Hollywood, so he knows what he's talking about. But I don't know if he should have written this book, because once you write a book, everyone has it, and it is actually, while I do believe that I can now read it, I'm in a much better place, because I remember when reading it, I subconsciously started implementing a few things, and I was like, this is actually crazy. The first one is, do not outshine the master, as far as I remember, and it was a crazy one, because it is actually true. You shouldn't outshine your masters, like, they love you, everything, but most are good masters, most are good mentors. They would want you to do better than them, but if you say on their faces in a proud way that I'm better than you, then they are probably not going to like it. And another one was, he use your, do not just enter every place, try to stay mysterious. Celebrities run away from events just to show how busy they are, how valuable they are. And that is true, they do that, and you could do that, and you could gain respect, but it means you will be sacrificing some good times. I used to do it. People thought I was busy. People will think that you're busy. People will think you are an important person, but you're gonna miss out on good times just so that you can be looked upon as someone who is busy and respectful. I've observed people doing it. They live miserable lives. They may gain a lot of respect, but they don't really live a very good life. They live a very boring life, isolated from everyone. Trying to impress everyone only leads to isolating yourself more and more. Trying to look better in every way. I would say a person who wants to read this book has to be very mentally strong. His books, he should know why he is reading it. I wouldn't recommend it to a beginner, someone who is young, because he may go down the path of trying to achieve power, which he may gain, but he would also lose many other things that he probably valued more, but he didn't know it at that time. For example, like, you could be the number one. I always wanted to be the number one cricketer in the world, only to realize it's a very lonely place. Like, the top of anywhere is a very lonely place. It takes a lot of sacrifices. I did not think it was worth it. One of the reasons I left my cricketing career was it took a lot of sacrifice. Being a cricketer in India is probably the toughest thing that there is. Every other person wants to be a cricketer in India. It is a very competitive field, so you need to make a lot of sacrifices. I did make a lot of sacrifices, some sacrifices that were not worth it, that I do regret. Yes, I do. I'm not gonna say that I do not regret them. I regret missing out time with my family and friends. I wish I could have spent more. But I was the guy who was obsessed on being the number one because for the wrong reasons. Probably fame was the reason that I wanted it. I didn't love the game as much as the number one people in the world actually do. You really need to love the game to be on the number one position, or you shouldn't even try to play it.